Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, and I am a blue dot in a red state, just trying to make sense of, everything that's going on in our world here in the United States. And I utilize tarot to do that. And today's reading that I'm looking into, whoo, it's a doozy, even by this administration's standards. In case you haven't seen the news lately, it's just like it's blowing up right now. Is the this story that the editor-in-chief of the Atlantic, Jeffery Goldberg, was added to this what should have been a meeting of top senior officials in a skiff. Instead, they were just in this commercially available group chat signal. And while it's encrypted, it's not encrypted to the level that you would be in a skiff. And also, the level of just intelligence that was being shared on this. I mean, I laugh. I understand how serious of a matter this is, but holy crap, are you kidding me with just the level of incompetence? So with that, I just kind of want to look at that and see, where, I want to start with the base reading, just what is the energy around that and kind of where does it go from here? I mean, it's so absurd. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. So just looking at the energy around, this, what happened, what's going on, just kind of looking at that, where it is right now. Okay. Okay. This is, back and forth. And, you've got that, what came out first was that it has been confirmed that actually was those were actual real people that were in that. It wasn't a hoax. The White House has confirmed that, and now they're trying to backtrack. So I see this as what they're putting out is at odds with each other. They're not being consistent in their messaging on this, which is par for the course for this administration. And people rising up. This is not going unnoticed. This is also the energy of, carries Pluto energy. And as a reminder, Pluto was discovered during the United States atomic era, during the atomic bomb. So this is, just imagine that, okay? This story is explosive, very much so. And they've been caught just flat-footed on their, defense of that. There is no defense, okay? And they know this, but they're still trying to polish that turd. These are the explanations being offered, and no one's buying it. Okay, I'm seeing this as just the general public being sold this bill of goods, and it's like, no, we're not buying that. This is a just gross level of incompetence, and everybody knows it. Okay. False friend. They really are trying to push this false narrative of it's okay, it's fine, In fact, I've got this one quote pulled up here that Brian Hughes, the spokesman of the National Security Council, responded to all this, and he's the one that confirmed the signal group, and that he said that it appears to be an authentic message chain. And then they were reviewing how, the editor was added. But this is the big piece. He actually wrote in his defense of this just incomprehensible act, this thread is a demonstration of a deep and thoughtful policy coordination between senior officials. It demonstrates a deep and thoughtful policy coordination. Nobody is buying that at all. Okay. And they're lying. Previous readings, that I read this as the fox is loose in the hen house. They're trying to see, they're throwing everything at the wall to try to see what sticks. And right now, they're not fooling anyone with this. Oh, and the Tower card. This headline is not going to go away. What's a little concerning about this Tower card is that one way Trump tries to change the narrative of the news cycle is something even more horrendous. So, you know, I don't even know what to say. This is very, this in addition to, this. In fact, these two cards, yeah, these two cards paired together, you know, the explosive energy of what happened, and there's going to be serious fallout, with this. So I'm curious about this Tower card. Where is this going to go, with the Tower card? Because right now, what this base reading is showing here is that nobody's buying it. Okay, they're coming out with all kinds of excuses. No one's buying it, and everybody knows they're lying. No one's buying it, and it's not going away anytime soon. This isn't going to be something that they can just gloss over. So let's put out more cards on the Tower card. What exactly is this fallout that we're looking at here? What is the fallout from this? And right now would be a good time for you to hit like on this video. I really appreciate that. And the subscribe button's right there too. Okay, so the continued fallout for this. And that is looking like this is going back to happier times. I wasn't expecting that card to come up like that. Okay, this is, I think that, going back to happier times, just, they're going to try to follow their same MO of, distraction, trying to lead the news cycle in a new direction, be controlling. It's a card of strength, but whenever we talk about this administration, it's also one of controlling. So they're really trying to stay in control of a fast moving, sorry, I got tongue tied there, story that this is just not going away. They can't control this Tower card. This could also be our allies. Oh, I bet this is our allies, because in there they talked about how, they hate bailing out Europe. However, let me pull this up real quick. One thing that, they trashed our European allies. However, I guess if there's one tiny little itty bitty bright spot in this, they did say, on our side of the ledger. So, I mean, they still see us on the side of the European allies and not Russia. So I guess, is that we'll take the wins maybe where we can get them. So, I mean, that was one sort of good thing that came out of this. However, our European allies, everybody, the world has seen what happened here. Okay, so they're not. I think that this is going to be our European allies, knowing that they can't count on the United States. Everything. This is a card of illusions. And that our European allies, they see the writing on the wall here with this. And so the repercussions of this, I think, comes more from our allies in Europe. And that they understand that, we used to be, in the past, we were considered strong allies, but now we are not dependable allies. And that's really difficult to say. So the repercussions of this comes more in what happens with Europe. And I haven't seen their response as of yet. And this is like, I was going to say, I haven't seen their response yet. This is one of a methodical, practical, moving forward at a specific pace. So this is telling me that they're planning. Our European allies are making a plan. They're not going to be, broadcasting this plan on Signal, accidentally, adding, editors to it. This is a coordinated, thought out response that they are going to have. So I would expect that coming up, I mean, the story's not going away. So I wonder, what is this what is their response going to be? Because this is coming up as Europe. What is their response going to be? And our European allies, they know that they're dealing with Mad King Don. There is no doubt whatsoever in their minds now. This is somebody who is erratic. This is someone who's emotional. Now, in the positive sense, this is someone who is a caring, nurturing, ally. However, if this is Trump, that is not who this is. So, yeah, they don't see Donald as a trustworthy ally. Toxicity. This is, I mean, I almost say this is feeling like it's almost irreparable. It's not, but I mean, it is, as long as Donald is there, this is saying this was kind of like the final straw for them dealing with Donald. Okay. They are not, the writing is on the wall. They see everything for what it is. And so no matter what this administration says, they've shown our European allies exactly who they are. And our allies believe him. They believe what they see. So much disappointment. And whenever I said, it's irreparable, it almost feels that way, but not quite. This is our hope for the future. Okay. This can be fixed in the future with our allies. It's just not going to be fixed with Donald. This is just, he has, that ship has done sailed. Okay. So while right now, so much disappointment, there's still hope for the future. That's one thing I like about the Five of Cups. It's like, it sucks when you're in it. It sucks with that disappointment, but there's always the hope here. Okay. Things that are hidden, they're definitely not going to be any intelligence sharing that was going on, I can't imagine that that's going to continue, because who knows whenever it's going to show up in a Signal, chat room. So they're going to keep their intelligence really close to the heart, and they're going to be extremely careful with what they share. Okay, so that intelligence sharing, that's going to be, that right there is the big thing that I'm seeing as the detriment here. Very quickly. So very quickly, this tower hits. So whenever, literally the shit hits the fan, the Lover's card. That's an interesting card that comes up. It's almost like this feeling of, they're going to be closely guarded secrets that they're not willing to share. However, it's like they still try to appear that we are, they know that we're allies. We've just temporarily, stepped out of the building for a moment. It's extremely dangerous. I mean, I do understand the severity of this. I'm curious about this. It's interesting because the Lovers and the Devil card are actually very similar cards, especially in the Rider-Waite deck. It shows the Lovers are two people, joined together by choice. The Devil is a toxicity card, and it's joined together not by it's just not by choice. This is one of toxicity. This is one of just not being in a good relationship. This one is a good relationship. So this is telling me that with these two cards coming up, this is telling me that our European allies are looking forward to whenever we can go back to having that mutual beneficial relationship. It's just that with Donald right now, that's not going to be it. And they know that. Okay. So honestly, I expected a little bit. I'm surprised that our European allies are being so gracious in this moment. Just because this is horrendous what happened, but they're going to be very diplomatic. They're going to be very methodical. They are very wary of sharing any additional intelligence, which, I mean, that was already kind of, they were already being very selective and wary of that, but now it's like their fears were confirmed. It's like now they were like, okay, yeah, no, we were right. we were right into being very careful with what we're sharing. Okay. So yeah, they've just, what happened here is the United States has just weakened our relationship with our allies. Okay. So I want to know if there's going to be any additional fallout. Is anyone going to be losing their job over this? Is anybody, what this so far, Trump's saying, oh, he's a great guy. He's learned, he gave the, let me pull this up. So far, Trump is giving the Susan Collins defense of, well, he's learned his lesson. Hegseth has learned his lesson. Okay, well, Susan, let's see how well that works out. Anyway, it's just infuriating. Okay, so is, Hegseth going to lose his job, or are they going to make somebody else a scapegoat? Where is this? Anyone losing their job over this? Okay, losing their job. It's taking a step back. This is someone who's battle weary. This is someone who's kind of like looking at what has happened and deciding what the next steps are. Okay. This is, this is almost this feeling of Hegseth is going to continue to have the full support of the president. Trump put him in, holds all the power. He decides who is, just, who is going to receive. And this is like he's, for Trump to remove Hegseth would mean that Trump made a mistake, which he would never say. This, so he's just going to double down. He is going to double down on his support here. So I'm not seeing, they're celebrating. They're going to be focusing probably on the attacks on the Houthi. That's what they're going to focus on. They're going to try to change that narrative to something happier. Happier for them. Offering something of value. This is, it's like they're trying to change the news cycle. There's nothing here saying anybody is losing their jobs. Queen of Swords. I wonder, I know that they're having those hearings today, which those national security hearings? Was it in the Senate? That will be something to watch, absolutely, today with that. So I wonder if this isn't going to be some pretty salty stuff coming out from, questioning towards Tulsi Gabbard, for one, is expected to be in that hearing today. But yeah, they're defending their position, and there is nothing here showing that anybody's going to lose their job. They're just going to try to move on from this. Like always, just, moving on to the next scandal. Okay. So let me just do, 4 cards. Any final, just kind of wrapping this up. Any final things we need to know here about this? This should be a happiness card, but it's also one of gluttony. They're drunk on power. That's the first feeling I get from this. They're drunk on power. They are just doing whatever it is that they want because they're in control. And we see it. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. That's okay. So that's what I got today with this just horrible breach in security. That the Tower card does come up. There's going to be ramifications with our European allies. That is what is coming up. And if anything, it confirms their worst fears, is that United States doesn't appear to be a trustworthy ally right now. And so they're going to continue being very selective in the intelligence that they share. And rightfully so. It's almost like what happened here, Europe is just going to unite even stronger. It just makes, that European those allies even stronger together, that coalition. And they see the writing on the wall. The entire world sees it. Okay. But the Trump administration, it doesn't look like anybody's going to lose their job over this. It looks like they're going to double down, and they're just going to continue barreling forward, doing everything broad daylight. They don't care. Okay. So that's where we are in today's world. I will say that the Senate, that hearing today will be very interesting to see just exactly how some of those people that were on that call that are going to be in that hearing today, how they defend their position. Anyway, knowing that they have the full backing of, the White House. So thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.